Hey guys, welcome back. We are here for the next mini bookshelf tour. This is a little series that I started because y'all love bookshelf tours, and I also haven't really done a full-on look at every single book on my shelf tour, and I love looking at my shelves. This also gives me another opportunity to kind of really consider the books that I have on my shelf. I have been finding some secrets that my library has been keeping from me. As in last episode, I realized that I have been having this one on my shelf, and it is the second in a series. And I didn't know that I didn't have the first one. So I've actually removed this from my shelf, fixed it a little bit. I have been actually pulling books from my shelves that are not the first in a series. A thing I'm doing to declutter my bookshelves, make them make sense, and have a curated collection of books that I'm truly proud of. That's just one of those things that bugs me. I guess it doesn't matter that much, but I'm sitting here waiting to maybe read it, and I'm gonna get to it and be like, wait, I don't even have the first one. How am I supposed to read this one? In this episode, we're doing something different. We have been doing, in the first 3 episodes, we've been kind of starting at one end and going around the corner. But in this episode, we're gonna do these 2 shelves here and here. That is what the plan is. So we're going to start on this end and go down this way, and then we'll move up to the shelf above. So first off in the corner we have, so I did try to fit all of my witchy books together. Alright, so over here first we have The Girl and the Ghost. This was a book that was gifted to me by the publisher. I loved this. It is more of a middle grade book, but it is so creepy for being a middle grade book, and it's also based off of a Malaysian fairy tale. And it features, what do they call them? Soraya is delighted when her witch grandmother gifts her a palisade. Oh, that's what it is. A palisade. I'm not sure I'm saying that correctly, but it's like a little ghostly creature. And it protects her, and it has been her best friend for the longest time until some people start bullying her, and it's protecting her in very destructive ways. It's just so good. Then we have The Stone Road, poetic, meditative, times frightening, visceral, and bloody. This is dark journey worth making. Oh, and this is advanced reader's copy, but I was not sent this one. I had picked it up at my library's donation place. The Last Unicorn, intense imagery of the Wizard of Earthsea and Stone Road, compelling and timeless. Award-winning Australian author Trent Jameson presents a haunting lyrical rule, fantasy adventure of pride and belonging, sacrifice and hope, girls, grandmothers, and monsters. Basically, I'm drawn to anything that claims it has monsters, so I don't know a whole lot about this, but then we have The Museum of Magic by Beth Revis. This takes place in Salem, and they have taken one of the original houses or something like that and turned it into a museum of magic. There's witchcraft and all that kind of thing. So then there is The Novice. This is a first in a series. This one sounded really, really good. Fletcher discovers that he can summon demons, and he moves to a special school to study. One day he will become a mage to fight against the orcs. So magical school, crime fighting, monster hunting. This is a cozy fantasy. Can't Spell Treason Without Tea by Rebecca Thorne. This is a first in a series called The 13th Hour, The Cruel Gods by Trudy Skies. I'm not really sure what this one's about. Cruel Gods Rule, Steam-Powered City. Oh, steampunk. Technically my steampunk shelf is down there, but whatever, this can stay here. Under the Pendulum Sun, I found this book for $1.50, and I was completely captivated by this cover art. According to one of the blurbs, it says, a weird, ingenious, ravishing story of fae and the outsiders driven to discover their secrets, told with a hearty melange of disturbing beauty and enticing dangers. Are very unique words to describe a book. Then we have The Infinity Sun. I think this was actually a gift. Was this a gift as well? No, I found this. I found this one for $1. Spellwalkers, vigilante groups sworn to protect New York and their supernatural powers. Lately, though, it's becoming a problem. One of the brothers wants to be center of action for his social media channels. I have the first 2 books in Queen of the Tearling series. Is that what the series is actually called? Queen of the Tearling and Invasion of the Tierling. And I believe these are Fae. Not really sure. Songs of Wraiths and Ruin. I've heard this book is incredible. I don't know why I haven't read it yet. City of Ghosts. I have read this one and it was really good. I do think I want to get a hold of the other two so I can continue on with the series. It reminds me of like Ghost Whisper, but anyways. And then I have the first 3 books of the Witching Savannah series. I have The Line, The Source, and The Void by J.D. Horn. And I love this series. It is so good. It's pretty underrated, but it's fast paced. You're following a girl who is part of a long line of witches, and unfortunately she doesn't have a lot of power of her own. She does have a twin sister, and she works as a tour guide in Savannah, Georgia. And I just think it is so interesting. Like, I really didn't know that Savannah was such a tourist spot, although so fast paced. There's also like a voodoo queen named Gilo in here. There's a book dedicated to her. It's the 4th book. I have not read that one yet. Also, J.D. Horn writes a series of books that also takes place in kind of same thing, witches, voodoo, all that kind of thing, but it takes place in New Orleans. And I really want to get a hold of those. And I tend to put ones that I've already read towards the bottom because I don't need to access them. Alright, coming over here, I have these 3 shoved up on top. And that is Paranormalcy, which I really enjoyed this book. I'm actually working on reading the next 2 books this month, hopefully before my checkouts run out. Trail of Lightning, this is recommended to read if you like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I think you have Waters of Climate Apocalypse. It's a little different though, because the gods and heroes of legend walk the land, but so do monsters. I think it's like a post-apocalyptic monster hunter sort of story. But yeah, I want to read that one. And then we have Conjuring Women. This is about witches. This was given to me from the publisher, but I don't know what it is. I just have not gotten into it yet. I think that this is going to be one of those ones that I'm just going to carve out some time, a week, to just dedicate to this book. Just look at that cover art. It is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I just need to stop everything and just give it my time. Under that, we have the Bone Witch trilogy. I really don't know why they're in reverse order. I'm gonna go ahead and fix that now. Ink in the Blood. Oh, I found this book for $6. Then I have Only a Monster. This was an Owl Crate exclusive edition book. It's literally still in plastic. I figured might as well keep it dust free until I actually pull it out to read it. And there's a second book in the series now, but this is about monsters, which I love stuff with monsters. The Wicked Deep, this is an all-time favorite book of mine. I love this book. I'm actually reading another book by this author right now. Honestly, it's not as good as this one. This one was so good. It's about witches, body swapping, small town, so atmospheric. Loved this one. Then I have House of Hollows. I absolutely loved this book too. Crystal Sutherland. This is about 3 girls who go missing, and then when they return, they're different. They're weird. Then one of the girls goes missing again, and things are getting really weird and gross. Like, if you liked Mexican Gothic, I think you like this one. There's body horror. It's just kind of weird and unhinged, but it's so good. Then we have Bear and the Nightingale. This is like a Russian fairy tale retelling. I feel like this is better suited up there, so let's see if there's a better place for that one. Then we have Ava Reed's Study in Drowning. I did read this. I read the audiobook and I really enjoyed it. So when I found this, I had to have it. Plus, like, really cool cover. Oh, this is uncorrected proof. I found this for $1.50. Alright, then we have Liberty. Then we have this one, Liberté by Gita Trellis, and I've read another book by her. I really enjoyed it. Magic, Betrayal, Sacrifice. This takes place in Versailles, in Paris. People of Paris riot. Safely doesn't exist anymore. Not when Camille lives for the rebellion. Revolutionary pamphlet captivates the public. She begins to suspect a dark magic that she can't control lies at the heart of her success. And now magic carries a death sentence. I read Enchanté, and is this the second in a series? I thought this was the first. No, these are standalones. Okay. House of Salt and Sorrow, another book that is an all-time favorite. Again, I listened to this on audiobook, and so I wanted the physical book, so I will be rereading this one day because I love this story. This is a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling, but it's so dark and atmospheric and whimsical, and then the ending is so wicked. It's really good. I loved it. Again, since I read this one, I think it should kind of get shifted down to the bottom. So I'm going to move things around a little bit. Ink and Sigil by Kevin Hearn. I kept getting this one confused with Ink and the Bone because, like, they look so similar, right? This is actually a spin-off series to the Iron Druid Chronicles. Eccentric master of rare magic solving an uncanny mystery in Scotland. Cast spells with magically enchanted ink. Then we have Hex Hall by Rachel Hawkins. This is an author that I really have enjoyed a lot of her books that I have read. This is the first in a series. This is about witches who are at a school. The main character is 12, so this is for a younger audience for sure. Regardless, it just sounds like a lot of fun. First day, Sophie has quite a scorecard. 3 powerful enemies who look like supermodels, a feudal crush on a gorgeous warlock, a creepy tag-along ghost, and a new roommate who happens to be the most hated person and only vampire on campus. Then, when a mysterious predator begins attacking students, Sophie's only friend is a #1 suspect. A horrifying plot begins to surface. Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. Mary Jekyll, alone and penniless following her parents' death, quickly finds herself drawn to the secrets of her father's mysterious past. A clue leads her to believe that Edward Hyde, her father's former friend and murderer, may be nearby. So a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde retelling. The Golem and the Djinn. This I wasn't too sure about until another YouTuber says that this was such an incredible book. I am very excited about this. Impressive. Combines a narrative of magic and Arabian Nights with the kind of emotional depth, philosophical seriousness, and good old-fashioned storytelling found in the stories of Isaac. Gaslit, alternate, rich reality, rich enough to get lost in. Alright, the next 2 I have read, and that is The Girl Who Chased the Moon by Sarah Addison Allen. I love this author. Basically everything she has written just fills me with so much joy. This is not one of my favorite books, but this was really good. And then we have Enchantment of Ravens. I love this book as well. I love the addition of our main character, who is an artist, and then she is commissioned to do a portrait of a fairy, but she makes him look too human, and so it causes a riot, and she gets taken off to the fairy lands to explain herself. And then we have The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, and I have heard some interesting discussions of this. Well, I guess I found this one for $5. I guess because it utilizes a girl who is like mentally unstable, and so some people are getting really tired of that trope, I think, but I still just want to read it for myself. I should probably put this more towards the top though, because it could go either way, be really good or not be good. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and put these down first because I've already read them. Also gonna put this one towards the bottom. I obviously need to do some research on this because this is technically a spin-off series, so I am really interested in the story, but obviously I don't want to like go in not knowing everything. Read this one. I've read this one too, but unfortunately the format of this book is like short and weird, and I can't, like, it needs to go on top because it's a smaller size book. Kind of would need to move one down. This is a good choice to move down here because this is like a magical school. Department in charge of magical youth. At 40 he lives in a tiny house with a devious cat. His old records for company, but his quiet life is about to change. So this one's gonna go here. This is another one too that's kind of on the fence of whether or not I would really connect to it. Okay, we are just about ready to move on to the next shelf. Again, this is a shelf that is primarily like witchy fantasy books. There might be some in there that are not necessarily witchy, but I tried. Also, I just wanted to give a little bit of a disclaimer. This is something I talked about in the first video that I did for the series, where I talk about how my shelves are always changing. I'm using them all the time. They're not just for show. And things are always moving around. They're not perfect. That's not the vibe I'm going for my channel overall. Like, I don't always do my makeup. I don't always look perfect. I'm not always, I think that is a huge problem with social media, is showing this perfection that really does not exist in reality. So, but there are like some weird gaps going on in this shelf behind me. It's kind of a mess. This is not even the worst shelf, to be honest. Like, and some of that is due to because I'm actually reading a couple of the books I've plucked from the shelves. I pull it from the shelf and I have like little stacks of books all over the place for doing videos or for a specific project. So yeah, things are always shifting around in here. All right, so let's start here and work our way down. First, we have What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. I really hope that I like this book because I read another book by her, the one where like she's like a dragon tamer or something like that. I didn't care for it all that much, which was really disappointing. So I hope this one works better for me. Then I have Girl, Serpent, Thorn. I think the year that this book came out was the year I was doing like new release videos, and so I remember this book distinctly. Like I really wanted to read this book, but I never got around to it. I finally found a copy of it at my little library bookstore, so now I have a copy of it, but I haven't quite yet gotten to it. It claims to be a deliciously lush tale about a girl who may be monstrous, claiming her own power, filled with twists and fascinating queer romance that stole my own heart. This is kind of a cool find. Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this. I kind of forgot what it's about, but I remember when I heard what it was about, I was like, I have to read that. But I found this copy at 2nd and Charles for $12.95. But wouldn't you know, of course, I didn't pay $12.95. I went on a sale day where you could pick 5 books and pay the price of how many pages were in the book. Incredible sale if you know how to maximize that. So I found very expensive books that I was interested in, but were also semi-short. There's actually another one on this shelf too that will, when we get there, I'll point it out. But the cover price was $28.99. 2nd and Charles wanted $12.95, and I paid $3.96. The next one is History of Wild Places. I got this at my buy sell trade store with like my trade-in credit. It was originally $27. That's crazy to me. It's a book of the month book, so if you got it with book of the month, then technically it's only like $10, I think, if you do book of the month. Whatever. I paid $7 for it. I really like this author. Well, I think I really like this author because I have read The Wicked Deep and I love The Wicked Deep. It's an all-time favorite. I am currently reading Winter Wood, and I have this book as well in my possession, so I would like to read this book one day when I get around to it. Then I have an Owl Crate book that is, yes, still in the plastic because I figured why unwrap it and let it collect dust until I'm ready to read it, so that's why it's still in plastic. This is a situation that I absolutely hate in my bookshelves. I have the fourth book in the Diviner series because it's the only, like, what is it called? Hardback book, King of Crows. Then in front here we have Wicked as You Wish. This is another witchy book. Okay, I thought this was really funny. I'm not reading the entire summary. Prince Alexei, the sole survivor of Avalon royal family, is in hiding and in a town so boring magic doesn't even work there. Few know his secret identity, but his friend Tala is one of them. Tala doesn't mind. She has secrets of her own. Now we're gonna do this stack. Great and Terrible Beauty, Rebel Angels, and A Sweet Far Thing. Then I have the London Seance Society by Sarah Penner. I read another book by her which I really liked, so I'm really happy to have this one. I think I'm gonna like it as well. Libba Bray wrote the Diviner series as well. The Truth Witch and The Wind Witch, which go together, but I think this is like a 4-book series, but I have the first 2 books. Magician's Daughter. Oh, this is another one I found at that sale. They wanted $9.50 for it, but I only paid $3.69 for it as well. Then we have The Diviners and Layer of Dreams. These 2 that are shoved on top. We have Starless Sea. I still have yet to get around to this one. I won this in another YouTube challenge. I don't know why I haven't gotten to it yet. And then I have the Luminaries. This sounds so good. This is a gorgeous cover too. Absolutely love this. This was another one from the sale. Oh yeah, the sprayed edges. Do you see that? It's like really pretty. They wanted $12.95 for it, and I only paid $3.35 for it. Then over here we have Wild is the Witch by Rachel Griffin. I'm really not sure how this book is gonna go. I did find it at a Dollar Tree, which, hey, works for me. I was excited to find that. Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be more like subtle and stuff, but we'll see. 3 Dark Crowns. I have read part of this book twice. I don't know why I haven't finished it yet. I do really like it. It includes a girl who has like an affinity for poison, or she eats poison, and she's going to be tested. And then she has fighting for the crown between her sisters, and her sisters have other abilities. I don't know, it's kind of complex. That's weird. The edges are like really yellowed. Then we have So Witches We Became. This is like an art copy, and this sounds so good, but it's not like, I don't think it's supposed to like your traditional witchy story. To save herself and her friends, Nell must face memories that she'd rather leave behind and reveal a horrific truth behind an encounter 1 year ago. But when Nell's friends share that they each brought secrets of their own, a solution even more dangerous than the curse begins to take shape. Female friendship suspense digs into an emotional aftermath of surviving assault. So it does touch on some really serious issues but yeah, and like that cover is so cool. Midnight Circus, love and adore this book. It is so incredibly good. The Witch of Portobello by Paulo Coelho. Oh, there's not really a summary of even what this book is about. Okay, then we have this trilogy, Ruined, Unbroken, and then Dark Souls. I read Ruined. I absolutely loved it. It takes place in New Orleans. You have your voodoo queens and old elitist, old southern money ghosts. Then we have The Last Wind Witch. I think this is for a younger audience. Many years ago, a powerful wind witch who wove the seasons, keeping the land beautiful and the people happy, but then dark magic drove her from the realm and the world fell to chaos. In her village of Oak Hollow, she's been sheltered from both the tempestuous kingdom and the wicked queen's reign. She catches the attention of the queen, and she learns that there is more to her magic than she ever realized. Then I have this little knickknack. It came in an Owl Crate box. I think it is so cute. It's a little box, and I don't even know what I have in here. Oh, this is from Holly Black. It says, I like for things to happen, stories to unfold, and if I can't find a good enough story, I make one. On the inside, it says, sharpen your blade, harden your heart. Magnetic bookmarks. This is an Alice in Wonderland theme that I made. The string bookmark. So it has this little Alice in Wonderland charm book with a rose, and then a blue rose and a key. The color of the ribbon kind of reminds me of Alice in Wonderland as well. They're not really that functional for when you're actually reading because they kind of get caught on stuff, but I love them to put in my books that they're like decoration on my shelves. So then I have the Otherware Post. This is kind of magical, but not necessarily witches. It's kind of its own unique thing, but it is so incredible. I recently just read this book. It was given to me by the publisher. I'm urging everyone to give this one a try. It is so good. And then I have Discovery of Witches and the second book, Shadow of Night. I am currently listening to the third book in the series. I'm not sad that I don't have it in my possession. These books were good. I'm not loving the last one. The two books that are missing from this shelf are Winterwood by Shay Earnshaw. I'm like under 100 pages and I shall be done with this book. And then also Small Favors by Erin A. Craig, another author that I really like. She wrote House of Salt and Sorrows, which, you know, I love. It's also going very well. I'm liking it. That's the end of this mini bookshelf tour. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you like these videos, you can like this video, subscribe, and click the bell. It's completely free for you, and you'll be notified when I post new videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.